Hey there, comic book friends! I'm Travis. It's New Comic Book Day, or at least New Comic Book Day for me. I am in the middle of painting my house. That's why I get this atrocious, I don't care about tie-dye shirt that I made for myself. And you can't see it, but I got paint in my beard. At any rate, that being said, painting my house, that's going to be kind of an all weekend, probably, and longer affair. No comic book roundtable this weekend. I've got football games I have to go to. I've got a kid that plays a marching band, and then Saturday, comic book roundtable day. There's some live music that's going to be here in town, and it's a semi-local group that I want to check out and support, the Donnas. So no comic book roundtable. What else is going on? Let's see. I got a whole huge stack of Vertigo books from a friend of mine that I've been friends with for, I don't know, 10, 11 years or so now. I became friends with them playing City of Heroes. When City of Heroes, that MMO first came out, my first MMO that I ever played, loved it to death, and I met a bunch of friends who are still lifelong friends. And at any rate, and one of those friends is reducing their comic book collection, so they shipped a bunch of books to me. So I've got like 100 Vertigo books. So you interested in me doing a haul video on Vertigo books? Do you care? Let me know. Let me know that. Anyway, let's talk some comics. This week, my invoice says that I've got 22 books. So clearly this is the week that the books all come out. I have been running, 17 or so the last couple of weeks. 17 or 18, so 22 is quite the jump. As I knock things over. Marvel's pushing the legacy stuff, which I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. So it was a launch party this Wednesday. New Comic Book Defender. Haven't got one of these in a while. Awesome cover to that. So we'll check out and see what's going on in comic book rights and that sort of thing. So looks like we got some stuff in here from Jason Aaron. Probably has to do with the Goddamned and that kind of thing, and got some book burning stuff talking about in here from LA, and yeah, so we'll check that out and see what's going on. That always interesting to kind of keep up on that. So anyway, let's talk comics. Issue 31 of Wonder Woman. This is the beginning of Child of the Gods, Part 1. This is the Robinson written book, which of course a lot of us have been kind of curious about. The solicits have something to do with Wonder Woman's brother. So we'll see what that has to do with. Then the Darkseid's daughter returns. So I know this has something to do with the Darkseid War, which I did not read. It was part of the New 52. So I don't know what to think of them pulling it over. I guess we'll find out. I hate this cover. I mean, I like Wonder Woman. She's just fine. But then you got, is this person here, are they a giant? Because they're in the background and they are massive, and this person is more in the foreground, between Wonder Woman and this giant person, and they're smaller. I mean, they're in proportion, I would assume, with Wonder Woman. That kind of stuff. I mean, makes some sense. I mean, if that's Gigantica, awesome. I guess. Still don't like the cover of it. Anyway, I guess I shouldn't be cover critiquing while I talk about these, right? Video will be forever. The American Way. Those Above and Beyond, issue number 3. Man, it seems like it was a long time since issue 2 came out. I could be wrong on that. It just seems like it was a long time. Really enjoying this. Interesting story, kind of, people who fake being superheroes, some of them actual superhero powers, set in the 70s, I want to say. We've had some civil liberty issues and stuff like that are going on in the book, and we've got some just different interesting stories going on. An African American superhero that's kind of torn between his community and doing the right thing, and what that makes him look like. You've got this woman, Miss America, I think is what she's called, or Miss Liberty or something like that, who is somebody who didn't really have powers. She's actually got some sort of terminal illness, and she is also running as a politician. She wasn't really interested in it, but it kind of, she's in the South, and it's running under kind of the Southern politics of Southern pride and the Confederacy and all that kind of jazz all weaved into it. So I'm really curious to see how that all plays out and whatnot. Next up, we have Crosswind. This is issue number, what do I want to say, 4. Of course, we got there's our character here with his eyes wide open because that's actually Juniper. It's actually Juniper Blue in Cass's body. So and going to be getting a little busy, it looks like. This has actually been fun. It's kind of a Freaky Friday. 2 people have changed bodies. Of course, they're not related. One's a hitman, and one is a kind of a stay-at-home, emotionally scarred trophy wife kind of a thing. So them playing in these other bodies and whatnot has been kind of fun. Curious to see how that all really works and whatnot. Should be some good stuff there. It's been fun. Way funner than what I thought it was going to be, for sure. A new Aftershocks comic that I'm kind of excited about. Fujitsu, largely, I mean, just check out that cover. I like kind of funky, kung fu-y kind of books anyway. And I'm curious to see how much it plays on that. I don't know any of these creators off the top of my head. John Nitz is writing. Wesley St. Clair is the artist. So we'll see. We'll see what it ends up being like. It looks like it could be a lot of fun. Next up we have the this is the Rebels. This one's entitled Rebels Brooklyn Heights. It's the free and whatever it's called. It's actually called. It's all part of a larger title. These Free and Independent States was like the first 5 or 6 issues. So I don't think this has to do with the same characters. This has more to do with that era. I've really kind of liked this kind of historical fiction of this era. It has been a lot of fun. Interesting though, different artists on this. Luca Casalegunda. I'm not sure if that's the person who was. I don't think that's the person who was the the artist on. No, I don't know. This is an artist I recognize offhand. Doesn't look bad, but not something I recognize offhand. So this story in particular has to do in which George Washington gives up Brooklyn and 2 siblings fight to get it back. The Brooklyn Heights. No rest till Brooklyn. Anyway, Rockstars, Children of the Beast Part 2. This issue, I would guess, number 7. Yep, number 7. Now we're drifting into kind of the heavy metal motif of the mythology of rock and roll and what all that is going to entail. It's just been a lot of fun. I really like Megan Hutchinson's art. So with Kelly Fitzpatrick colors on it have just been really cool. And I'm just kind of curious to see where Joe Harris takes the whole rock and roll motif kind of thing. I'm very much into music, and so I dig it for that aspects. Wonderful cover for Saucer State. We brought back the rabbits in the first run of this book from Vertigo. There were quite a few scenes where the aliens looked like rabbits. That's how the characters' minds replace the shocking things that the mind really couldn't understand, so it went with rabbits instead. So it's fun that they brought that element back here. This is the president's ex-husband, and he is extra loopy about a lot of stuff, so it'll be curious to see exactly how that all plays out. Going to pause here because I'm getting messages. Sorry about the interruption there. Let's move on. Here's a Victor LaVale's Destroyer. This is issue number 5 of 6. Last issue, we kind of got the 2 monsters, Frankenstein's monsters, kind of matched up against each other. They're kind of a more high-tech version of Frankenstein's monster versus the original creature. We'll see how that plays out. Really been enjoying it. It's been interesting. I mean, last issue wasn't as good as the issues had been before it, but still really good. So, yeah. Comic I'm always looking forward to, Mother Panic. This is issue number 11. I'm assuming the whole fencing thing we got going on here is the old, back from the school. I just really like a lot of the elements that are played out in in this book. It's if it's a Bat book, it's my favorite Bat book. I just really like the character Violet quite a bit. I love her exploration of things and whatnot. Another Sean Crystal drawn one. This cover, of course, is a Lee Edwards cover. And Infinite Loop is back. Really enjoyed the first mini-series of Infinite Loop. So excited to have this back. Nothing But the Truth is what this one's called. And so I'm looking forward to it. This is the B cover. It, of course, is a Cliff Chang cover. Just freaking awesome. Love, this guy. Clearly, there's this guy here, his helmet, and in the helmet area, it's like, the beach and the sun and whatnot. So I really enjoyed the original thing about it. It had to do with reality and time jumping and fixing dimensional rifts and that sort of thing. And then our characters kind of went full board to shut that down. Our main character falls in love with an anomaly, which is one of the things that you're supposed to be getting rid of. And so then it kind of all gets adventurous and spirals up there. I'm just looking at it because the art is by somebody different. The art is by Danielle Di Nicolio as opposed to Elsa Chanter. So I'm not as excited about that aspect of it, but it still looks like it's going to be pretty cool. Curious to see what they have next for a story. What could be next, because it's kind of ended with them, kind of living happily ever after. I thought, if I remember correctly. So next up we have Hellblazer issue number 14. The Inspiration Game. This is a Tim Seeley written issue. Was not impressed with the first Tim Seeley issue. Written issue of Hellblazer. I hear from Sleepy Reader 666 that after this, there is a novelist that's going to be taking over writing the book for a while. So I'm excited about that. I just need somebody to energize something new into the book. Now, people might say, but Travis, a lot of the original Hellblazer was kind of the same thing over and over again. It's true. But that was good. And so having something be the same or very much alike when it's all quality is fine, for me anyway. I don't mind seeing the same thing, in some sense over and over again when it's well done and whatnot. This has not been a very strong book, and I want it to be more than that, because I really like the character, and I think you can do a lot with the character, and I just don't think they're really either get it or exploring it or giving me a reason to care. It's not gritty enough. It's, I don't know, maybe it's closer to DC house style art, which I've never understood that statement, but it's very much more brighter colored and along the lines typically of any other DC comic. I mean, there's these two tonally, artistically are comparable, and I don't know that should be the case. So I want there to be something different about my Hellblazer, I guess. So next up we have Batgirl, issue number 15, Summer of Lies. Looking forward to seeing kind of what all goes on. I think we got some Mad Hatter stuff potentially going on in there, because the Cheshire Cat grin here and whatnot. And of course, love makes you do crazy things. You get more of the what's going on between Dick Grayson and Barbara Gordon, right? But I've really been enjoying it. Continue to say, Hope Larson has a great book here. I hope they leave her on the book for forever and ever. And Wild Goose, the artist, is perfect style of art for this book. Just really does a great job. The Unsound, issue number 4. Is this the last issue? No, there's one more issue after this, right? It's 5 issues or 6 issues? Anyway, very much looking forward to this. Colin Bunn written story. It's really about the Jack T. Cole artwork. It's just kind of a head trip. They're down in the bowels of a mental hospital, and it's like the mental hospital was built on top of the catacombs of a ancient mental hospital, and of course, so it has all the trappings of what could have happened, back in the before the turn of the century, a sane asylum, kind of stuff. It's all kinds of trippy whatnot. The staff and our main character are walking around with paper plates in front of their face so they can see reality the right way. If they take their paper plates away, their real masks are exposed, and the things come to get them. Well, our main character has removed the mask, and we're going to see what happens. But just really great stuff. Really suspenseful kind of horror. Really, really digging that. It looks like this is the final issue 6 of 6 of good old Batman and the Shadow. Interesting. This looks to be a combination of the Shadow and Batman together, all in one character. As a matter of fact, I think that's kind of what the eyes represent here too, right? So very much looking forward to seeing how this ends. It was really fun to read, largely due to the Riley Rosmo art. That's what makes lots of fun. Through lots of rogue gallery kind of stuff. We'll see how this thing all ends with the Stag. And then we'll have to check out Sergeant America, check out Mike and his channel, because I believe he is the one that will be jumping on the second kind of story. You can call it an arc. They two go together, or they can be separate. Doesn't matter. That is put out, driven more by Dynamite, and it is the Shadow and Batman as opposed to Batman and the Shadow. So I don't know if we're going to get a more significant story, kind of linchpinned around the Shadow instead. I probably will not be picking that up. I do not think, unless I hear like amazing stuff about it, then I'll scramble to whatever. These are fun characters, but largely it was the Rosmo art that really sealed the deal for me to want to pick this up and read it. Sorry for the yawning. I'm tired too. It's been a long couple of days of me scraping the house and then painting out. All right. Black Magic, issue number 8. We get back into the story now. Super excited about that. There's kind of some strife going on between our two partners here. Not sure exactly what that stress is. We have these kind of a couple secret societies that are operating around, which I'll be really curious to see if they start to come more to the forefront, what that's all going to be like. Just really, really great. Nicholas Scott art, of course, this kind of wonderful, tones of black and white with these occasional splashes of color that just, make the comic really perfect. So very much excited about that. Another book I'm super stoked to have back. It is the Black Monday Murders. This is issue number 7. This is a Hickman book. Croker doing the art on it. It has just been really, really cool. Has to do with demons, hell, that sort of things. The amassing of power. In this case, the power is kind of, not kind of. It is. It's kind of money, but it has more to do with the stock market and the money markets in general, and about that as an amassing of power for longevity. But it's all occult based. It's all magical based. There's these schools of thought. There's lots of interesting kind of weird little black matter things. There's redacted stuff in the book that just makes it really kind of cool and whatnot. Very excited to have it back. I don't know how long this book is going, but I really dig it, and I hope it, as long as they've got story to tell, I hope there's enough people buying this thing either in singles or in trade to keep it going, because it's just really good. It's just really good, really cool. Oh, Detective Comics, 965, we're Tim Drake. We're getting into the stuff. I was really excited that for quite a few issues for almost a year, we now have a lot of Tim Drake. And I'm happy with that because I'm not a Tim Drake fan. So here we get the whole In the Hands of Mr. Oz. We'll see. Lonely Place to Live, part 1. We'll see how this all plays out. There's other characters that I like. I'm not excited to have Tim back. I'm not excited to have Tim be the focus or the center of the book. Originally this thing was billed as it was going to be a Batwoman, led book. Of course, she's got her own book now, so that's kind of taken a backseat to some degree. I'm just hoping that doesn't mean that this all becomes the Tim Drake show, because there's a lot of other interesting characters, I think, that's not Red Robin. So yeah, we'll see. I have been enjoying Detective Comics. It has been a very fun book. So would I expect this to be less fun? No, other than if it becomes Tim Drake centric, and I'm a hater. That's what I am. Commanding Challenge, issue number 9. King written, Eastman drawn. Williams II, I'm assuming, does the inking on it. Issue 9 of 12. This has been a snooze fest and not that good for quite some time now. I hear that this one is it's all black and white, so that's going to be interesting to see why that is and what's that about. So that could be, it says Kevin Eastman and Freddie Williams are the artists, so I don't know if that means that, who did what. Eastman couldn't finish it, or if it got inked by somebody else, whatever. I'm not a Freddie Williams the second fan. I'm just not a big fan of his art. Usually if he's on a book, I avoid the book. Since about the JSA All-Stars, I've just not really enjoyed. Nice guy, but have not enjoyed his style of work. So, I don't know. That'll go to the bottom of the pile. It's the last thing I'll read. If I read it, I just have not been enjoying it at all. So, next up we have Lazarus X66. This is issue 3 of 6. So we're at the middle point. We're just learning different pieces of story. So I'm not sure how this is. Anyway, I'll get to it in a second because this is the second time in a row I've done it. Anyway, sorry. I'm a bit puzzled why I keep saying. Anyway, wonderful Lazarus stories, kind of filling out more of the environment of this dark future that our Lazarus Forever lives in. We learn about different characters and stuff. These are some of our homesteaders that had to move to Denver or something like that, I believe. So we're going to see more of them. Be Free Resist. So this must be part of a resistance group kind of thing. So I'm curious to see what that's about. Each of these issues is drawn by somebody different. This one says Greenwood, so I don't know if that's... I'm not sure. I'm going to open it up and look, because, hey, it's my video, and it might as well be as long as I want it to be, right? So, love the way that was... Hear that creak? Kind of glued together. Justin Greenwood, which means nothing to me, so I'm not familiar with that. With the artist at all? I don't know. I don't know what I think of that. It probably looks better on camera than it does. It's all right. I'm sure it's going to tell the story we need to tell. Oh, clearly this is back in the day, because, I mean, people are I don't know, got regular cars and regular street, and I don't know, it doesn't seem like anything's normal. But maybe it is. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll be checking it out to see. And here's the thing that I was puzzled by. This is the second month in a row that I've gotten a second issue of Mother Panic, and I'm looking at my invoice, and it says that I paid for it. I bought 2. And I don't know why that keeps happening. I'll go back and look at my orders, because it just seems really weird that I ended up with 2 Mother Panics twice in a row. I'm hoping... Well, no, I've been getting my... The only other thing I was thinking of is I've been getting my... My Doom Patrol, because it's the only thing I buy a second issue of, because I buy the stupid variant cover. I wish they would get rid of it, but I don't know why. Once again, yeah, sure enough, 2 issues of Mother Panic, so I don't know. I'm on dope or something. Oh, good comics. Saga, chapter number 47. 47. This book's been around for 47 issues. So cool. Very much excited about this. Always stoked. No idea who this person is on the cover, but excited to find that out. Top quality book for $2.99. Just always lots of fun. Always has great stuff in it. Excited to see what's next for all those characters. And finally, this week is another issue of Southern Bastards. This one is written by Jason Latour and Chris Berner doing the art, I believe. Interesting. So on the cover there, I don't know if that is Rebecca Tubbs. Our beginning character of the story, his daughter who was away in the military, come back to deal with her dead father. I am not sure. So we'll see. We'll see what that has in store. What Southern Bastards is going to be like. Always excited and always fun to have it. That is my comics. I am out of here so I can get myself some lunch, maybe read a few comics, and then get back to the grind of painting the damn house. Anyway, have a great one, everybody. Have a great weekend. I'm hoping to have some other videos out at some point here besides just this. Let me know about that that haul video. Is that something you're actually interested in? Happy to show them off. If you are, if you're not, cool. Anyway, Have a great one, everybody.